Hi everyone, so this is Andrew. It's been a while since I've been here, I know. I apologise for that. Work, life got busy, and then for a while I was ill, and so I've been out of the picture, but it doesn't matter. Today we are going to be playing some Space Marine 2. This is a franchise that I've always been aware of, that it exists, but I don't know anything about it at all, except there's a bunch of cool dudes in massive suits of armor with big guns walking around fighting aliens. So, on that level, what's not to like? I'm sure that there are absolute load of true fans out there who are hearing my description and are like, oh my god, like, what kind of people are playing this game? But I have to admit, it might be one of those, what do they call them, like gatekeeper things that pulls you into a universe or an ecosystem when you know nothing about it, because this is really kind of cool. My brother has actually been playing Warhammer for a long while now with his friends, the classic tabletop, and I'm sure he's been doing stuff on the computer as well. But this is my first time. I am going into this with absolutely no idea who these people are, what the different Marine factions are, what the story is, why everybody's fighting each other, why it's this kind of quasi-religious sect. I don't know. I will hopefully find all this stuff out from playing the game. The best part about it for me, though, is that it looks like it's going to be, at the moment, fairly easy to get into, so we'll see how that goes as time goes on. And yeah, we'll see. But I have to admit that right now, the way the game looks, I'm really kind of liking it. I'm playing this on the Xbox Series X. I've got I think at this case, the quality preset on. I'm not sure now, actually. I think it's quality. And this is from my first time playing the game a couple of days ago. I've been playing it a bunch since then and really kind of got into it and hopefully improved the way I play. So when you see me running around like a headless chicken right now, forgive me. I was learning. I think I'm better now. Hopefully, you'll see that in later videos, but yeah, you can be the judge of that yourself. But at the moment, I mean, it's got a really good story. I love the way the game is put together. I mean, they've just done a wonderful job with it. The graphics are nice, the sound is really good, the music's nice, all of it kind of adds to this atmosphere of the game and what's going on. I also love this swarm mechanic that they have going, so, in the background over there you can see thousands of aliens, and when you're fighting them, there's hundreds of them charging at you, it seems, and it's just this never-ending, like, melee storm of creatures and bodies, and yeah, I mean, sometimes, I won't lie, it gets frustrating, especially when you don't know what you're doing, and at least at the beginning, like in some parts, I was just button mashing a little bit. Sorry, I can't speak English anymore. And yeah, that's not always the best thing to do. I think I've got better at that now, but I'm still not sure how to do the stances properly, or if I'm doing them properly, so I need some more practice. Anyway, this particular mission, we've gone to reinforce these locals on the planet. They're being absolutely overrun by the aliens, and so our crack squad of 3 people is just charging in there to, save the day. Why not? It's kind of interesting for me in terms of how to say it. It's kind of interesting for me in terms of how it all plays together and gels together, because it's kind of nice having these other units and these other squads running around, and not just the PD size or the small size humans, but also the other Marines, and that you're all kind of working in concert together to achieve a bigger objective. It really kind of blends in and fills in with this idea of a war taking place, or a massive battle, at least. But speaking about the game now, I mean, you're going to see here there's going to be a couple of like mini-sized swarms coming through. Not too bad, nothing too exciting yet, but still, at the beginning I was kind of like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And the other thing is, I have no idea which of these guns is better or worse, or what does what. I know, well, I've been playing with some of them. I have a better idea now. At this point, there were bolt pistols and bolt rifles, and it was like, what was that? You know, so I don't know. Anyway, all you need to know is that in the campaign, you are basically playing an ultramarine, which is just a kind of hardcore badass dude running around in a massive suit of armor. As you run around, you will find different guns, different weapons that you can pick up and use. Before the mission, when you actually depart, you have an option to go to the armory, or at least later on when you unlock it, an option to go to the armory and choose a loadout for the mission. But generally, most of the guns you get tend to be kind of satisfying. I mean, when you're shooting things, you feel like you're shooting something and doing some damage. The chainsword and the combat knife are both really nice. And I've actually also tried the power armor since then as well. So the melee weapons are nice, and the actual combat is just really nice and satisfying, but you have to kind of learn how to time things. So for example, let's say you are playing something like Seiko, or you know, one of the other like fighting games where you have these, you know, melee attacks, and you have to get into this habit of parrying attack and so on. So this is kind of like that. You have these different elite enemies that will come at you. Everybody has their own style of attacking, their own tempo, their own rhythm, and so you need to learn that rhythm. And then it's a case of, you know, block or dodge, and then wait for the opening. Or sometimes if you do a heavy attack or you use a grenade, you can force an opening and start getting some damage of your own in. When you see those blue circles pop up, that usually means somebody's gonna launch an attack at you, except that's an attack that you can parry. You can parry it or you can block it. With the smaller enemies, when you parry it, you essentially capture them and gut them or behead them, or, you know, do something equally gruesome to them. When it's a red circle, that's an attack you can't parry. You have to try to dodge those. And then it's just generally trying to keep that awareness, you know, in the middle or in the heat of battle, while you've got all these mobs and elites running around you, and sometimes special monsters, sometimes boss monsters as well. And so it can get very hairy sometimes, especially when you have some of these more powerful boss monsters that are spraying their attacks, and on top of that you've got all these little, let's call them peons, who are shooting at you with these little poison attacks, and then you've got elites coming at you with these poison beams, and my son actually calls them duelists, who are hitting you with like these swords and so on. See that blue arrow there? That meant that somebody was going to do an attack on me. That red one is, I can't block it. There you go. There was the parry, but I wasn't paying attention. And so now this, I think it's called a lictor. It can burrow in the ground and then it jumps out and attacks you. Got me. And when I was first playing this, as you can see on the screen, I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no, I'm lost. What do I do? Help. You know, and just kind of hoping when he popped up out of the ground I could get him. But I was not paying attention to everything that was going on around me, so they were kind of eating me. Yeah, I've got better since then. Or at least I hope I have. I like to think I have. But the other thing you should know is that when you parry these attacks, not only do you stun the opponent and give yourself an opening to attack them, but it also helps you restore some of your armor. And as you can see in the top left of the screen, that big red bar, that's your health, and those dashes underneath, that's your armor. As long as you have armor, you don't lose health. But you can lose your armor very, very quickly too. And so by killing that there, I need to parry that now. Okay, right, cheeky, I use a grenade. So by parrying an elite or stunning them, there, I need you to parry that. See, I was awful. They open up for an opening, and then you can attack them, and then they will start flashing red or glowing red. And when you see that, that means you can execute them. So then basically you walk up, you press the right stick on the controller, you perform the execute animation. And this is kind of a really useful thing to know because one, when you execute them, you get some armor back. And two, when you execute them, you are activating iframes. And if you don't know what that means for that second while that animation's playing, you're invincible and other attacks can't hurt you. So it comes in really, really useful when you're in the middle of a swarm. You're killing these monsters, you've got them all around you. You can see one of them's going to launch some kind of devastating attack on you. And if you can execute one of his buddies while he's about to do that, while you're like performing the animation, his attack won't hurt you at all. So it's really kind of handy to get the timing down. These things, what you see on the screen now, were like really freaky. Like, I was like, what the hell are those? You know, and then they start suicide bombing you with these like poison mists, and yes, it hurts a lot. It drains your health very fast. Actually, one of the attacks one of the elites has is that they shoot these vines on the floor that you get entangled in, and they also poison you, and so you end up intoxicated or poisoned or whatever, and you're just inside this green cloud. You can't see enemies. You're running around in this fog and totally lost. It does wear off eventually. While you're running around in it, you are at a tremendous disadvantage. I found out just yesterday, actually, because, you know, I'm the fastest person on the planet when it comes to these kind of things, but I found out yesterday that there's these things called stim packs. What they do is they restore your health, or at least part of your health. But when you're poisoned, or if you're in one of these clouds, you can actually use it to get rid of their effect, so you can immediately restore things back to the way it should be and actually see all the enemies around you again. The thing to remember there, though, is that stim packs are kind of hard to come by. They're not, you know, liberally sprinkled anywhere. And, you know, is it really worth it just when you, like, I mean, for example, right now, with that little bit of health I have missing, I probably wouldn't use a stim pack. And even if I got poisoned, I would probably just try to dodge or move through it rather than using the stim pack because, you know, it's too valuable. There we go, there's a damaging attack. Is he going to pop up the ground and come and get me again? No. Okay, so we'll try to take this guy down. I think, yeah, he brought him. There you go, see? I parried that one for once, finally. And so that's what it looks like with the smaller mobs. Somebody's still shooting at me. Someone's behind me now. Who is it? Yeah, it's this guy. These guys are an absolute nuisance. There you go, that's the execute. So when they're like that, that's when you can execute them and restore some armor. Okay, what else is useful to know? Generally the stuff you find lying around the map, the ammo, the health, the stim pack size, any of the other stuff, usually when you pick it up, it's yours. I mean, you've taken it off the map. Nobody else then gets it. So you have to kind of keep an eye on your teammates when you're playing and see who needs health, and if somebody needs it more than you, then you have to leave it for them to pick up, basically. Or at least it would be nice if you left it for them to pick up so that they can kind of try to live a bit longer. If you get downed in a fight, your teammates can restore you. After you get downed once, you get a mortal wound. You can only get rid of the mortal wound by raising your health over the level it was when you got injured, if I understand it correctly. So again, you could use a couple of stim packs to get rid of it. The thing is, when you get a mortal wound, it means the next time you go down, your teammates won't be able to revive you, and you'll be essentially in spectator mode for at least 1 minute. So you'll have to wait a full minute before you join the game. I heard somewhere yesterday that on the higher levels that actually increases to 2 minutes. I can tell you right now, 1 minute is really incredibly frustrating to wait, especially when you're watching monsters attacking your teammates and so on, and you want to get in there and help and you can't. So, yeah, you have to get better at parrying, get better at dodging, use the stim packs sparingly. You can find these things called guardian relics that will let you revive yourself or auto revive you. They auto revive when you get down the first time. You've got one. It will give you the option to revive, and it's probably better if you don't than if you let like one of your teammates revive you, and then afterwards it will auto revive you, and it's a bit more powerful. If you use it to revive yourself at the first time, it will do the job, it will get you back on your feet, but the effect just isn't quite as good as if you wait for that second time. Here I picked up a sniper rifle. I'm trying to sniper rifle, a bolt action rifle with a sniper attachment. I'm trying to snipe. It's not that easy on the controller, or at least not for me. I need more practice at it. This is one of these things where I wish I was actually playing with a mouse. I might actually try that, plug a mouse in and a keyboard onto the Xbox and see what happens. I know it supports it on some games, not all games. I haven't actually looked to see if he does it here. But anyway, as you can see, the graphics on this are like just wonderful. They did a really nice job with it. As I said before, the atmosphere is absolutely fantastic. It's just you get so immersed in this game. It really does kind of draw you in, and you're kind of on board with the missions and keeping your teammates alive and making sure that you get to the objective. When you don't do it, when you lose, or if you get overrun, it's a real kick in the teeth. And yeah, you want to win, you want to do like what you can. Just so you know, when you're playing, if you're playing single player like I am now, you can play with bots, or you can play multiplayer where you essentially join a server, other people will join your game with you, and then you can play through some of the missions. You can play the campaign in online co-op, not local co-op, or at least I don't think you can do local co-op. You can do online co-op. I've been playing with my son. He has his own Xbox though. Later on, after you've played through the campaign a little bit, you will unlock something called operations. And what operations are is, during the course of the game, as I mentioned, you're working in concert with other teams to achieve all these multiple objectives to finally reach some kind of end goal. I'm being purposely vague here so there won't be any spoilers. And what the operations missions are is a chance for you to go be that other team that's doing that other segment. So for example, right now, the Ultramarines here, they're fulfilling one objective, and then later on with the operations missions, I can go do one of the other objectives that these guys need to help them progress forward. The good part about the operations objectives is that you can pick a class you want to play. So you have assault marines in there, you have snipers, you have vanguard. I don't remember all the classes off the top of my head now. Each one of them has their own special ability. The special ability is the yellow icon in the middle of the HUD there at the bottom. In this particular case, that one I've got, it makes my guy do more damage for a few seconds. But some of the other ones, the assault guy has a jetpack, you can use it to fly, and then he has a massive hammer, think something kind of like Thor but bigger. He can charge that up and then drop down out of the sky and do this massive wave of splash damage, for example. The sniper can actually go invisible for a few seconds. The vanguard guy has a grappling hook, which is really useful for moving around the map or zooming over to enemies and actually like drop kicking them and stunning them. Because one of the things the enemies can actually do in this game, it's also kind of good to know, and this is the elites, I believe. I don't think the smaller enemies can do it, but they can call for reinforcements. So they will stand still and they'll start growling or chanting, whatever you want to call it. You can tell by the fact they'll have this little icon, this little diamond over the head that will start to fill up with red. And once that fills up, the reinforcements are summoned, and a whole massive wave will come and help them, and there's a good chance you're going to get overrun. So the thing you want to do is, while you can, you want to break them out of that. You need to stun them, you need to attack them, you need to do something to stop them calling for help. So that's something important to be aware of. Here you can see an execution right now. I mean, to be honest with you, you can tell like I'm kind of lost here, because rather than shooting the bottom of those people climbing up, I was shooting the ones coming over the top. There, I didn't dodge the attack, silly me. And I think it's at this stage I kind of realised, like, hold on, everybody else has gone. I'm the only one here, and I'm starting to get surrounded. I can see my two guys in the background over there, but my health is dropping, and yeah. Okay, sorry, I thought this was the part where I needed to actually run, but now my guy came and helped me. Another execution here. That structure you see there, that pyramid shaped thing, that's a weapon pod, so you can get additional weapons from there, or you can use it to swap guns and get a gun with full ammo. That's the other thing, you can run out of ammo very, very easy. Actually, this is another good point worth mentioning. When you do the operations menus, at the end, if you complete the mission successfully, and again I'm being vague because I'm not 100% sure, like kill whatever boss or wherever he's there, you get like these, I don't know what they're called, this is how new I am to the game, I don't know what these things are called, I want to call them gems or coins or something. You get these special coins basically that allow you to upgrade your weapons, so you can get faster bullets or more damage or some other improvements to the weapons, and you earn experience, and the experience levels up your character and gives you access to perks, and perks help you, they can help your team, and just like with the weapon upgrades, they can also make you faster, stronger, improve your abilities and so on. So it's really worth doing the operations menu. You kind of have to play the campaign and operations to get the most out of this game. It really does have like a lot going for it. There is also a PvP mode if you wanted to play that. There's PvE, which is players versus environment. There's a PvP mode where you can just shoot each other if you want to. From what I've read online, the devs are really committed to supporting the game. They have a long plan. They are going to be introducing a lot of new content as time goes forward. So one of the things that I read that they plan to introduce is a horde mode, which sounds really fantastic. I'm looking forward to that. There are cosmetics in the game. You get currency in-game currency, but it's not microtransactional. It's just when you complete a level, you get some gold or something, and you can use it to customize your armor, or you can use it to customize your armor, or you can.
Thank you, my lord. I shall give them new orders.
I don't want to come over here. Sorry, YouTube switched over and started playing sound in my voiceover. So then you can use it to customize your armor, change colors, add different symbols to it, different styles and so on. So you can kind of make the character more your own. As you play through, you'll find more and more different you'll not find, delete that part. As you play through, you'll basically get more rewards and more experience that lets you unlock different armors, different symbols, different heraldic badges, so you can change all that around if you want. Okay, so I mean, that's just a kind of overview. It's not anything too detailed. This is just, you know, you and me having a gossip while we're playing a game, so take it like that. If you want proper reviews, I can try to do one if somebody's really interested. But I think there's many other people who've done a much better job at it than I had, or I could, actually. But just for me, in general, I have to say, and just in case I haven't made it clear enough by now, I really, really do like this game. It's a lot of fun, especially if you can find a good couple of teammates. As I mentioned, I play a lot with my son. He's a lot better at this game than me, like just by a mile. So he saved my bacon so many times, you know, I mean, he really has. But it's just, the stories are good, the campaign missions are good. It's just really nice that you can kind of run around doing these like different objectives. Everything's kind of clear what you need to do. The maps are interesting. There's all these little nooks and crannies with things hidden around them. There's barrels and gas tanks and things that you can shoot to explode, so you can use the environment against the enemies. The enemy AI seems to be pretty good, you know. I haven't had any problems with it, and so far the game has been really solid in terms of glitches or bugs or anything. I think I've only had one where one time one of the bots wouldn't get on the elevator and just stood in front of it, kind of vibrating a lot. I don't know what was up with him, but then after a few seconds the game by itself just moved him into the elevator, like he just disappeared and reappeared in the elevator, and we continued on, and that is literally it. Everything else has been working flawlessly. I haven't had any real slowdowns playing on the Xbox, even when there's a full screen of enemies. I mean, it's just been wonderful. And so far, every time I've died or something's happened to me, it's basically been my fault. It's just me not knowing the controls, or not reacting fast enough, or not being fluid enough with what's going on, or staying too far away from my teammates. That's actually a very important point. Always try to stay together, watch each other's backs, because if you get too far away, then you're going to get trapped, or you're going to get swarmed, and they won't be able to help you. So it's really better to try and stick around. Oh, this is a bolt action rifle with a grenade launcher on it, so I'm just trying to figure out how it works. Unfortunately, it's only got 5 grenades, and I used 3 of them working at the distance, so still need practice. Yeah, now I just found out it's empty. There are some things that I would like to be able to do, like for example, as you can see, those cranes with those boxes hanging over it. I've tried shooting them before. Unfortunately, I didn't fall. I don't know if that's a thing you can do or not. If it's not, it would be really great if that was in the game, because imagine you've got a swarm of mobs below you and you can drop all those crates on the head. I think that would just be something really nice to do, would be fun. Oh, and that's the main thing with this game. It really, really is just a lot of fun. There's no soul searching in this one. You can just run around with abandon, shoot people, shoot stuff, fight the mobs, pick weapons up, get stuff exploded on your head like I just did there. And it's amazing. Especially, I played a game with my son and some random guy who joined our match yesterday, and we played it on one of the harder difficulties. We got to the final stage where there are these endless swarms and these little mini bosses attacking you, and you have to hold this one particular position for a while. And we were doing so well, and we'd found at least 3 of these gems, or these like tokens that let you upgrade your weapons, and we were all like, yes, you know, this is like really freaking good, this is great. And then this random guy got taken out. my son got taken out, and so I'm the only one left alive, and I have just like this sliver, this absolute like minimum amount of health that you can possibly have, and I can see both of them have mortal wounds. So the timer's up and it's counting down from 60 seconds, and so I need to survive, you know, for a minute, because if I die, it's game over.
Receiving.
And so rather than fighting, I just started running and dodging and avoiding and so on. And everything was going great. And this is important, I was playing the sniper. And as I mentioned before, the sniper can go invisible. And the advantage of being invisible is no one can see you to attack you. So I'm running and dodging and dodging and dodging. And while I'm dodging, my ability becomes available again. I can see that my son has like 16 seconds left or something like this. And so as I was dodging, I pressed the button to activate the ability. I don't know if this was me now or if it was me pressing the button, but like my character like stuttered for a second. You know, it was like in the middle of a roll, and rather than rolling, he did this kind of step. And because he wasn't rolling, one of these little monsters just went slap. And that was it. I was dead. And it was so frustrating. We lost all that progress. We lost all those chances to upgrade. So, yes, that wasn't good. That was not a happy experience for us all there. But to be honest with you, it's never the kind of thing where at the end of it you want to be like, oh, you know, I'm so fed up with this now, you know, I'm just walking away. It was more kind of like, oh my god, that was so like idiotic. Okay, no, like I'm gonna do it again now, and this time we're gonna make it. You know, the only question is just whether you'll manage to find the materials to upgrade on the map again, because there's usually a couple of them somewhere, but they are really well hidden, and you have to decide whether you want to risk running through those waves of aliens to find out if you know, if something's there or not. So yeah, it's it can be tough sometimes, but at the same point when you do get through it, it's very, very rewarding. It's kind of, you get this nice sense of accomplishment, and the fact that you can adjust your armor and you get some, you know, different cosmetics and some upgrades for your weapons. It's just a nice bonus at the end of the day. It really is. And this is a nice scene here. Like some of these scenes, they really are kind of like cinematic. We need to get through those gates. You can see like the enemies pouring down from the walls and from the gaps in the walls. And there's like 3 of us and a few of the local soldiers who are going to take them on. And you just get this sense sometimes of these overwhelming odds, you know, and it's kind of like, what difference can the 3 of us make? But at the same point, you know, it's a game, so you kind of know it's not impossible. They're not going to give you impossible odds. Well, you know, Dark Souls devs might, you know, because people seem to love being tortured playing those games. Dark Souls games, just, they get me every time. I like playing them, but I don't know if, I mean, it's obviously a skill issue, but I'm just not good enough sometimes to get past the final bosses without getting really frustrated and rage quitting a million times in between. And I'm at the stage now where I need to kind of, you know, just be chill, just relax, just enjoy playing rather than getting frustrated and swearing and shooting at stuff. And so far, you know, this game is absolutely great for that. Like I said, I've never got like frustrated to the point of like shouting or throwing my controller or any of those other things you read about. And so far, most of the people I've played online with, they've been really good. I've had a couple of guys who were kind of just running around grabbing all the first aid and all the ammo they could and not really caring about the rest of the team. But then I've had some really decent players who like call out when they find something, and you know that they try to help you, they'll come back for you, they'll stop and make sure that you keep up with them. So in general so far, I would say the community is really good. I mean, really, yes, it's just all around a good game. I can see why so many people are playing it. If I could recommend something for you to play, I would say go get this. I've got the standard version. I didn't buy the deluxe or ultimate, mainly because the upgrades are just cosmetics as far as I can tell. I don't know how that will be in the future with DLC. If there's some good DLC for it, then I will either get the Game Pass or get the DLC when it comes. But you know, that's something to worry about in the future. I mean, for now, there's plenty to do here. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a ball. I mean, look at this. I mean, just the atmosphere is amazing. Here you can see me trying to test like shooting that crane. Yeah, just to see what would happen, but yeah, nothing much. Maybe the ones in the other levels do, like actually drop down, I don't know, but yeah, in this particular one it didn't. And the nice thing here is you really, when you get good at this, you kind of feel like John Wick, you know, like you're blocking, you're dodging, you're parrying, you're shooting, you're taking down multiple enemies. There's grenades in the game, there's the standard frag grenades, there's like a sticky bomb, which I absolutely love when you're fighting these elites and they're blocking you. I just throw a grenade so it sticks to the sword and then run off and let the bomb blow them up. You know, so there's lots of nice little things you can do. Oh, that red diamond there, that means that one of the people is down and they need help. And you can see the other bot running over there to help them. How did I not parry that? I don't know. Yeah, you can see now these two are ganging up on me, but there's the attack button, but I blocked it by doing the execute. And he's being now blasted by the tank, which weakened him up for me to finish him off. Yeah, and as you run through the level, I mean, you'll see like the boots of the Marines pick up mud and dirt, and the armor gets splattered with dirt and blood, and like all of the details just seem to, you know, it seems to me they thought of everything, and I can only believe that this much like so much better on a PC, like on a top-end PC with a top-end graphics card and ray tracing and all the other bells and whistles switched on. It must be amazing, but there we go. Nice shot from the tank. But I'm happy with how it looks here. I really am. And just, yeah, go get it. Go play it. You know, hopefully I might see you around on there some point if you're doing one of the operations missions. And if you are, just be kind to me. Remember, I'm an old dude. I'm learning. I'm trying to keep up. My reflexes aren't what they used to be. I need some help sometimes. But as I've said a million times already, I'm doing my best to get better. These guys, these are like kind of annoying, or at least they were at this stage. You know, they just hover there in the air, trying to revive that guy, but the computer was doing it too. Dropping these like poison balls down on you. There's some later on that have even more attacks. They shoot energy streams and so on. Or you get a pair of them and they will protect each other with shields. Yeah, so they are very annoying. Or they can be very annoying. There are guides on YouTube on how to deal with the different enemies and what tactics you can use and what strategies you can use to take them on. I would really suggest that you actually don't look at them from the beginning, that you just try yourself. I think part of the fun of all of this is actually trying to figure things out by yourself on, you know, like in different situations and different scenarios, and how do I beat them and what do we do and all the rest of it. And yeah, and only when you get really stuck should you do it. Okay, I think that's it now. I think we're inside the structure. We got to the end of this particular mission, but this is actually only halfway through. This isn't the end, but this is just a chance for us to take a breather, realise that there's going to be a counter-attack, and there's a lot yet that we still need to do. But I'm not going to spoil the rest of it, or rather you can see that in an upcoming video. So I'm just going to use this opportunity now to say thank you to all of you for watching this, for listening to my rambling. I really do appreciate it. I know it's been a while. Hopefully I'll be uploading again more regularly now, and we'll get things back on track. And in the meantime, if I see you online, say hi, and if not, I'll see you the next time I release a video. Okay, take care of yourselves. See you next time. Bye for now.